Ethan Roberts had always believed in doing the right thing, no matter the personal cost. At 24, freshly graduated with a degree in business administration, he was brimming with ambition and ready to step into the professional world. He had spent months preparing for interviews, perfecting his resume, and learning the ins and outs of corporate etiquette. The pinnacle of his preparation was an interview at Centurion Enterprises, one of the most prestigious companies in the country, known for rewarding talent with incredible opportunities and even faster career growth. Ethan had dreamt of this day for years, and when he finally received the call confirming his interview, he could hardly contain his excitement. That morning, he woke up earlier than usual, dressed in his best suit and reviewed his notes in the mirror, trying to calm the storm of nerves that danced across his chest. On his way to the office, he imagined shaking hands with the interview panel, answering questions confidently, and impressing the CEO with his strategic thinking and innovative ideas. Nothing could have prepared him for the twist of fate waiting on the streets outside the building. As Ethan walked along the bustling city sidewalk, focused on the task ahead, he noticed a young woman struggling near a busy intersection. Her high heels were stuck in a pothole, and she was teetering dangerously, trying to pull them free while balancing a heavy bag of groceries. The cars whizzing past left barely any space for pedestrians, and Ethan could see that she was in imminent danger of tripping into the street. Without a second thought, he hurried over and grabbed her hand just as she lost her balance. "Are you okay?" he asked, steadying her. The girl looked up at him with wide eyes, slightly embarrassed, and muttered a quick thanks. She was dressed elegantly, clearly in a hurry, and seemed flustered. Ethan insisted on helping her retrieve her bag, which had spilled its contents across the pavement. Between cans, fruits, and papers, they both bent down, picking up the scattered items. Time was slipping by, and Ethan could feel the panic rising in his chest about being late for his interview, but he couldn't abandon her in such a vulnerable moment. "Here, let me help you," he said, handing her the last of the scattered groceries. Finally, everything was back in order, but the girl's gratitude was tinged with a faint sigh of relief. "Thank you so much," she said again. "I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been here." Ethan smiled, brushing off the praise. "Just doing the right thing," he replied. There was a brief moment of awkward silence, and then the girl extended her hand for a proper introduction. "I'm Isabella," she said. Ethan shook her hand, feeling a curious warmth in the gesture. "Ethan," he replied. She glanced at her watch and gasped softly. "I really have to go. Thank you again." Ethan nodded and turned toward Centurion Enterprises, hoping he hadn't lost too much time. The walk from the intersection to the office felt unusually long. Ethan glanced at his watch and realized that, because of the delay, he had only 10 minutes to reach the building. He broke into a run, hoping to make up for lost time. But fate had another obstacle in store. As he reached the front doors, he collided with another pedestrian, and his neatly organized portfolio flew across the lobby. Papers scattered everywhere. Flustered and embarrassed, Ethan hastily collected them, straightened his tie, and walked into the reception area, trying to appear composed. The receptionist gave him a polite nod, and Ethan followed the signs to the interview room. But before he could even sit down, the HR manager emerged with an apologetic expression. "Mr. Roberts, we're very sorry, but the interview has been rescheduled," she said. Ethan's heart sank. "Rescheduled? When?" he asked, trying to mask his panic. "We've had an unexpected scheduling conflict. I'm afraid we'll need to find another day." Ethan nodded silently, masking his frustration. He had prepared meticulously for this exact day, and losing the momentum was disheartening. He left the building, his mind spinning, feeling like the world had conspired against him. Little did he know his day was about to take an even stranger turn. Later that evening, Ethan decided to unwind at a nearby cafe. The day's events had left him exhausted, and he needed a moment to clear his mind. He ordered a coffee and found a quiet corner to sit, reviewing his notes again. That was when he noticed a news alert flashing on the cafe's television. The headline read, "Centurion Enterprises CEO's daughter rescued from street accident by unknown Good Samaritan." Ethan froze, his heart skipping a beat. He leaned closer to the screen and saw a video clip from earlier in the day, showing a young woman being helped by a man in a blue suit. The face was partially visible, and as the camera zoomed in, Ethan recognized himself. He had inadvertently become a local hero, but the news report revealed the detail that made his stomach drop. The young woman he had helped was Isabella Hawthorne, the CEO's daughter, Centurion Enterprises CEO, renowned for his strict policies and unyielding standards, was reportedly praising the unidentified man who had saved his daughter. Ethan sat back, stunned. He had lost his chance at the interview, all while helping someone who, unbeknownst to him, held immense influence over his dream company. The irony was cruel, but he couldn't help but smile faintly at the memory of Isabella's grateful eyes. The next morning, Ethan received an email that shook him to his core. It was from Centurion Enterprises, but not the kind he had hoped for. The subject line read, "Regarding your application." With a sinking heart, he opened it. The message was polite but firm. Due to unforeseen circumstances and scheduling conflicts, his application could not be processed at this time. Ethan's hands trembled as he read and reread the email. Months of preparation had come to nothing, and he felt a profound sense of injustice. But deep down, he knew he had done the right thing by helping Isabella. It was a bitter consolation, and he wrestled with feelings of disappointment, frustration, and unexpected pride. He shared the news with his family, who consoled him, reminding him that integrity mattered more than temporary setbacks. Yet Ethan couldn't shake the gnawing feeling of missed opportunity. Days passed and life slowly returned to normal, though the memory of that day lingered like a shadow. Then one afternoon, as Ethan was walking through the city park, a sleek black car pulled up beside him. The window rolled down, revealing Isabella Hawthorne herself. She was dressed casually, a stark contrast to the elegant woman he had helped on the street, yet her eyes held the same warmth. "Ethan Roberts?" she asked, smiling. Ethan blinked in surprise. Yes, that's me," he replied, unsure of what to expect. "I hope I'm not disturbing you," she said. "I just wanted to personally thank you again for helping me the other day." Ethan felt a rush of embarrassment and humility. "It was nothing," he said. "I just saw you in trouble and—" Isabella interrupted him gently. "You don't understand. That day you did more than help me. You showed courage, compassion, and integrity. My father noticed, and he was deeply impressed." Ethan's heart skipped a beat. "Wait, my father?" he asked, trying to grasp the implications. Isabella nodded. "Yes, he wants to meet you." Within a week, Ethan found himself in the luxurious offices of Centurion Enterprises, standing before the CEO himself. Ethan's nerves had returned, but this time the context was entirely different. The CEO, a tall man with a commanding presence, extended his hand. "Ethan Roberts," he said, "I understand you helped my daughter in a moment of danger. I also understand that because of that incident, you were late for your interview." Ethan nodded, struggling to contain his mixture of awe and anxiety. The CEO continued, "I admire your decision to help someone in need, even at a personal cost. It speaks volumes about your character." Ethan was stunned. He had expected disappointment, if anything, but instead he was being commended. Isabella smiled from the corner of the office, and Ethan felt a warmth he hadn't experienced before. The CEO offered him a seat and a new opportunity, one that was far beyond the original interview. "Ethan," he said, "integrity and empathy are rare qualities in this world, and they are exactly what we value here. I would like to offer you a position on a special project, team that I personally oversee. Your ability to prioritize people over personal gain is exactly the mindset we want for leadership roles in the future." Ethan's hand shook slightly as he accepted the offer. I don't know what to say," he stammered. Isabella leaned forward and said, "You don't have to say anything, Ethan. You just have to keep being yourself." The meeting ended with congratulations handshakes and a renewed sense of purpose. In the weeks that followed, Ethan immersed himself in his new role. Guided by Isabella's mentorship and the CEO's support, he excelled beyond expectations, his natural leadership and ethical approach earning him respect throughout the company. Looking back, Ethan realized that the very act that had initially cost him an opportunity had ultimately opened a door far greater than he could have imagined. Helping a stranger, unaware of her identity, had led to a career-defining moment, proving that sometimes doing the right thing is the most strategic move of all. And for Ethan, it wasn't just about the career. It was about understanding that integrity, Courage and compassion were worth far more than any job interview, and in the end, they had rewarded him in ways he had never dreamed possible.